y'all, welcome back to the Down Home Drip. I have been gone, not literally gone, but gone from YouTube for a while. I don't know if I was taking a break, just being lazy. It's been months since I sat down in front of a camera to do anything. So I'm going to go ahead and do one now. We are just starting the month of August. So I'm going to do a quick, really cut-free. So I'm going to do stream of consciousness, just run it on through. As little editing as possible, just a quick get ready with me, a little chat, and we're going to talk about some things here as I get ready, and you can get ready with me too. So welcome in. If you are new and you've never been around our neighborhood, y'all, I am Lisa. I am a 51, almost 52-year-old mother and grandmother, and I do these kinds of videos. I try, Lord, do I try, to get these things up. But you know what? The thing is that life sometimes gets in the way. That's part of what we're going to talk about today in today's video. So let's go ahead. Let's just dive in. Let's do some makeup. Let's chat a little bit. Let's have some fun on this beautiful August afternoon. So welcome on in. If you're new here and you would love to like and subscribe, I would love to have you as a regular viewer. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Get on in there. Hit the notifications bell. Let me know if you like this video, and I'll also see you in the comments below as we chat a little bit about our lives and what we find going on. So let's go ahead then and get on in there. So I'm going to start. I've got my lips prepped here. I always use my Laneige lip glowy balm before I do any makeup. That's what I let just kind of sit on my lips as I am working through my look. So that's usually my first step. My skin is prepped. There's no sunscreen today because it is pretty late in the afternoon. The sun is going to be on its way down pretty soon. And also, you know, with that solar index going down, that UV index, when it starts to take that downhill slide into late afternoon, it's after 3 here right now, you know, you don't really have to worry too much about sunscreen. But if it was a normal morning where I was getting ready to be on about my day, I would definitely lay some sunscreen on there. But anyway, skin is prepped, and I'm going to prep my under eye with my Tula stick. So this is the Tula stick. It is the Rose Glow and Get It. Rose Glow and Get It, y'all. So get out there, Rose Glow and get it. This is what I use on my under eye right now. I bought these on sale at Tula. It's just a little stick. It's nothing new. These have been out for a while. But basically, I just run them under my eyeball. They're just to fill in some of the spaces, you know, that are starting to creep up on me. The little crinkles. See, I'm not going to edit that out. I'm just going to let it be. The crinkles that we have under our eyes, the smile lines, as we age, right? Aging is a fact of life. It is definitely a blessing to age. And so I always put this stuff up under my eye just to kind of smooth some of the stuff out and give a little glow under there. I'm not big into color correction. I'll be honest. I have some dark circles, and I've had them all my life. Part of it is because I am very fair-skinned. Part of it is because my skin under my eyes is thin, and it's getting thinner. So obviously, as your skin gets thinner, you're able to see the blood vessels underneath a lot more easily, and that's just also a natural facet of aging. If I'm going on a big deal like girls' night out or an occasion with my husband where we're going on like an actual date, I will color correct. But for your everyday, you know, going to work, going golfing, going to the store, I do not color correct. So I'm going to get in and get started here with some foundation, which is really not a foundation at all. It is the Maybelline SuperStay Skintint. And so this is one of my favorite light coverage products. It's not as light as you might think, being a serum skin tint, but it is definitely enough coverage to make you feel like you've done something to yourself. So the one thing about this, though, that you have to really be careful about is this has vitamin C in it. And my skin can be sensitive to certain vitamin C formulations. This one is not one of them, but I have had some major reactions to vitamin C oils and serums. So I do have to be careful with that. I did not look at the package when I bought this stuff. I literally was in Walmart and I'm like, oh, Maybelline has a new product, let me grab it. And then I did not realize at the time that it had vitamin C in it. I didn't see that till I got home, and I figured, you know what, I'm going to go ahead. I will give it a shot. I've never had a reaction to Maybelline products before. Unfortunately, this was another home run, really winner for me as I was working through, right? So that is what we have going on there with our skin. So let me go ahead and slap some of this stuff on here. I'm using my Wet n Wild sponge. So let's go ahead and grab some up off my hand and let's get it on my face, shall we? So I'm just kind of dotting it in there on my hand, and we're going to put it on our face. So here we go. So one of the things that I wanted to talk to y'all about is dry July. So did anybody out there do dry July? I did dry July not because I was really trying to do dry July, but because some of the things that happen as we get older are our body organs. Right? How do you say this, right? Sometimes our organs don't cooperate with us the way that we would like them to. And so what I was finding that I was having was my liver enzymes had been high, and they'd been high for a while, the AST, the ALT. And so what wound up happening is that I was diagnosed with fatty liver. So it's not an alcoholic fatty liver. And it's a really prevalent condition here in the United States. And part of that is just because of our diet. The standard American diet, the SAD diet, is really high in fat, really high in processed foods. And so, low in vegetables. And so what kind of winds up happening is your liver processes everything that goes through your body. And eventually it just kind of builds up this accumulation of fat. And so that is what went on with me. I had non-alcoholic fatty liver, and in my most recent testing, because this is an ongoing condition, they are saying that it's kind of progressing a little bit more than I would definitely like, into something called NASH. It used to be called MASH, Metabolic Associated Steatohepatitis. And so now they changed it to, actually, no, it used to be NASH. It used to be non-alcoholic steatohepatitis, and steato just means fat. So fatty hepatitis. Hepatitis is an inflammation of the liver. You may have heard that term hepatitis in terms of A, B, and C. A is usually the one that you hear about quite a bit because you can get it from restaurants. If a worker, a food preparation person in the restaurant has Hep A and they don't wash their hands and they don't wear gloves, they can pass that on to the diners in the restaurant. There's also Hep B, which is most commonly sexually transmitted, and Hep C, of course, is the big one that really causes major liver damage. So steatohepatitis is an inflammation of the liver caused by fat. And so I was found to have this condition. And, some of the things that exacerbate it, that make it worse, are some of the things that I have. So sleep apnea can make this condition worse. Hypothyroidism, which I am also the beneficiary of, can make it worse. And so I have this condition, right? And, you have to really kind of manage it and try to stop the progress. So what happens is you have this steatohepatitis, this hepatitis, this inflammation of the liver. It can progress to fibrosis, which is not something that you want to have happen. And that fibrosis can then become cirrhosis or cancer. And so you don't want any of those things to happen to you, obviously. And so one of the things that I have done to kind of take control and try to right the ship, as it were, with my liver is I stopped drinking. So I was not ever a heavy user of alcohol. I should probably keep blending. But I would, have, social drinking. So if I was getting together with friends and having a girls' night out, or I was out on a date with my husband, or we were having a party, I would drink in those occasions, right? And so I decided, for my liver, for what's going on with me, I just need to cut it out, right? So dry July, was I really doing dry July? No, because I decided at the beginning of May to stop drinking alcohol. So dry July is just kind of a convenient label that I can apply to, this video and things like that. But something that a lot of people are doing now to cut back on their drinking. And so, I have done that. And I don't think that it was difficult for me personally because I'm not an alcoholic and I was only a social drinker. And so the big thing for me was just finding substitutes, right? Things that I could have that were alcohol free. That I might normally have. So, things like near beer, right, where they're non-alcoholic beers. And a lot of companies have really jumped on board with this because apparently, and unbeknownst to me as a Gen Xer, right, I did not realize that a lot of our millennial friends have actually not been drinkers. And so these companies are going to be losing out on money. So there are like actual breweries just specifically to brew non-alcoholic beer, but also a lot of the larger names. Blue Moon is brewing one, Corona, Dos Equis, Heineken with their 00, Stella Artois, and there's a range of non-alcoholic beers out there now. So I'll have one of those. I have some non-alcoholic wines and champagnes. I make mocktails now, so some of that will be showing up here at the Down Home Drip shortly, pretty soon. I'm going to film some of those videos. But that really is kind of like what's going on with me and my beautiful liver, right? So that's one thing that's been going on. And not that it's taken up a lot of time and caused me not to film or do anything. But that is, just something that to think about, right? Is, your liver health. Oh, Lord. Okay, so you know what? I use this all the time. And this is the Maybelline SuperStay Eraser. It's one of my favorite concealers, but y'all, if you use this, you know the story, right? It has this little spongy tip on it, and it gets really clogged up with product. And then, of course, the inside of it just gets disgusting, right? But that is what it is, I suppose. So, again, it kind of glops on. So it looks great. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and blend that one out, right? And I saw this trick in another video where instead of using a concealer brush, which I do have a concealer brush here, and instead of using a sponge, using just a good old-fashioned flat paddle brush that we used to use for foundation, the big paintbrush style from back in the day when I got my first MAC brushes. One of them was one of these dumb paddle brushes, right? So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to blend this concealer in here, just pat it out, right? And I like to conceal, you don't want it to be heavy, and of course you want it to blend in with the rest of your makeup under eye, and so I just decided that would be the way for me to go, just to go alcohol free, right? And it's definitely taken. I would say one of the hardest things, obviously, is finding substitutes. But like I was saying, there are a lot of things out there now that didn't used to be available. But the other hard part is explaining to other people why you're not drinking. Because alcohol is such a huge part of American culture, and it's a part of a lot of cultures. But there is definitely a huge part of our culture here in the United States that centers on celebratory drinking, right, and social drinking. And so you have to explain to other people, that you aren't going to be partaking in cocktails, and that can be really uncomfortable. It can be hard to be the one who's like, yeah, no, not for me, right? So that is another part of stopping your drinking, right, that can be difficult, especially, if you're not used to explaining yourself to people or don't feel comfortable with that aspect of dealing with other people. That can also stymie and stop some people really from quitting drinking, or at least quitting social drinking, because they don't want to, have to say no, and don't want to have to be put on the spot, and don't want to have to explain. So what I did was, when I decided to stop drinking, and y'all, that was the e.l.f. Halo Finishing Powder, Halo Glow Finishing Powder. So that's what I used on my under eye. There is the e.l.f. Halo Glow. It's one of my favorite finishing powders. I really like it under eye, T-zone. So what I did was I was going out with some friends. The day that I decided to do this, I was, looking at my test results online, and I'm like, you know what? I have some hard decisions to make, and one, figuring out how I'm going to work with this and try to take control of this condition that I have. And so I basically called my girlfriends, or actually I texted my girlfriends, and I said, hey, look, I know that we're going out tonight, but you have a built-in DD now, because I'm not going to be drinking anymore. And I explained to them the reason why, and they were really supportive, and they even said, you know what, if you don't want us to drink, we won't drink either. And I was like, no, it's okay. I don't mind if you drink. I'm just not going to anymore. And so that's just basically how I approached it and handled it. And it's been, okay ever since. And so, I feel better. I feel like I'm doing something towards taking care of myself, and knowing that, my liver is at least a little bit happier, without, having to deal with an influx of, alcoholic beverage every once in a while. And that is not to say that I think everyone should stop drinking. I think you need to do what's right for you. I'm just letting you know what's right for me, right? Okay, so powder done. That other coating of powder, I'm a powder girl, was, of course, my good old standby. I'm sorry, this is an oldie but a goodie, and I don't think I'll ever let go of it. No matter how old I get, please, Mac, never stop making Mineralize SkinFinish Natural, because this is my all-time go-to powder for finishing. I've worn it just over sunscreen as a powder foundation. It is really a great all-purpose product. Okay, so that's what was going on with me personally, like with my body, right? But let's talk a little bit then about some other things that I have been dealing with here at the Down Home Drip area in our household. So you can see him laying behind me here. I think he's kind of in shot. We have a couple of pups, right? It's a couple of doggies. And one of them got very, very ill over the month of July. And so we've been dealing with that for a while. He is in kidney failure. And so it started off, he was asking to go out to the bathroom to potty at night, which he does not ask to do that. And it was basically every 2 to 3 hours he was needing to go out. And we thought that it was just because, he was getting older and needed to go out more, just like a person, right? As we're getting older, we're finding that we have to get up maybe in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom too. And so we really thought, okay, well, he's just getting older. This is part of, having an older dog. It'd been a while since we had an older dog. But then one weekend he stopped eating. So I was like, okay, this is not normal for him. Every once in a while he'll not finish a meal, but he's never not eaten several meals in a row. And so at that point I knew, this is just not a good situation. Something is going on, something more than just my dog is getting old. And so we took him to the vet. My husband called. The vet was like, yeah, great, we have a cancellation, you can come on in. And he's like, should I take him? And I said, if they have a cancellation, go ahead and take him now. And so he took him in, and it turned out they did some tests on him, and it turned out that he was in kidney failure. And so they kept him overnight, and they did a big IV on him overnight. We went in and we picked him up the next afternoon. And we did the underskin IVs for the next 5 days, which subcutaneous IVs. So you just basically, they give you an IV bag and a needle, and you slide the needle in the skin, that skin they have at the back of their neck where their mama picks them up. You just basically pinch that skin in, slide the needle in, and run some Ringer's lactate solution in there until it makes kind of a liquid pocket under the skin, and then the liquid gets absorbed, the hydration gets absorbed. So we did that for 5 days. The first weekend after his vet appointment, he still wasn't eating. and he was just getting weaker and weaker and weaker. And we really did think that we were going to have to have him euthanized, to put him down, because he was not getting better, and in fact he was getting weaker. So we took him back on that Monday. They checked his levels, and the levels of whatever it is that they check, I think it's creatinine that they check for kidneys, for kidney function, were actually higher than they had been the previous week. And the vet was telling us that we were at a kind of a crossroads where we were going to have to decide what we were going to do with this dog. My buddy, right? My buddy. And she was recommending, that we euthanize him, because she was explaining that kidney failure and kidney disease, it's a very painful thing. And so, we were kind of faced with that decision. There he goes. But my husband, bless him, didn't want to put him down right away, because we were still taking him out for his walks and on adventures, even though he wasn't eating. Anytime that we called him to go somewhere with us, jump in the truck and let's take a ride, let's go for a walk, let's go for a hike, he was happy to do that, and he was excited. And there he goes. Now he is making his noises, right? What's the matter? Yeah, okay. So ultimately we decided not to put him down at that moment. We're going to wait and see. So they gave us some more IV packs, some more bags of the IV fluids, and some more needles and things. And we took him home, and we started to basically force feed him. So we were feeding him with a syringe several times a day, and the vet gave us special food for that, and he started to perk up. And we continued this process. We were still taking him out, doing adventures, going for walks, things like that. And eventually, he started eating on his own. So we make his food now. My husband makes his food. And he gets homemade food, and he eats it himself. And it's been a month. And he is still here. As you can see, he's still kicking. He's still happy. He's his jerky self again, which he wasn't for a while, which is another way we knew that something was wrong, was he had stopped being a jerk, because he can be a little bit jerky, this one. But he definitely is doing ever so much better. And we don't know, obviously, how long we actually have with him. We are monitoring him, and we are watching him to make sure that, he doesn't, he's not in any pain. So when we see that happen, we're going to know that, now it's time to take him in. But for now, we have my big boy, Koba. This is my buddy Koba here. We have him, and we are still adventuring with him and taking him out every day for a walk or a hike or a car ride, because that is how we are showing him that we love him. Anyway, as I was speaking, you saw me put some things on. So I got some bronzer here. That's the Infallible bronzer from L'Oreal. Tried and true. Blush today is going to be MAC Peachy, or Peaches. So that's what I'm using on the cheeks, right? Okay, so face done. So far, so good, right? All right, let's jam on in here and get some eyes done, all right? So we're going to start with some brows. We'll hit this Anastasia Brow Wiz today. It's one of my favorites, really. Skinny pencil does the job. So let's go ahead and get on in it. So that's kind of like what's been going on for my summer. I told my husband when summer started, there he goes, that I wanted to have a resort summer, because I wanted to go to the pool, and I wanted to, go hiking and kayaking and all the things. And we literally have not done that very much at all. Like, we have not kayaked at all. We have golfed a few times since July. I think altogether we've probably golfed 4 times, and we were solid 2 to 3 times a week. We were at the course that we're members of here in town. And so, but we were taking care of our dog, and we didn't know how long we had him. And for that period of time that he was really sick, we were just with him every day, and we didn't want to leave him. So we are starting to get back into the swing of things and doing some golfing. But I would like to get down to the pool more before fall hits us, which it's going to really quickly here. So that is kind of what I have going on, you know, as far as summer. And, you know, for our kids around here, I don't have any kids in school, but for our kids around here in the neighborhood, they actually start back to school tomorrow. So that's kind of what we have going on. Oh, I know what it is. He's upset because I have the mirror out. So let me tell you a little bit about this dog. All right, so he's 8, all right, and he's a Dutch Shepherd, and he is legitimately crazy. So one of the things that he does not like is light, reflected light. He gets crazy, I mean, absolutely bonkers when he sees reflected light. And so right now I have this, I'm going to look over here for just a minute, but I'm going to keep talking to you. I have my little hand mirror out here and it's reflecting some light. That's why he's getting so amped up over here. But yeah, so I forgot what I was talking about. Y'all, I lost my train of thought. What is going on here? I was talking about this little crazy boy. All right, so that is eyebrows done. Okay, so we got him, and I will make no bones about the fact that he's not the dog I wanted. I actually wanted his brother. When we got him, the breeder brought 2. So brought him and his brother, and they kind of put him down in a fenced, put the 2 of them down in a fenced area. And the trainer that we worked with at the time said, hey, just watch their behavior. Let's take a look at them and see what they do. And so I wanted the brother. The brother was a little more timid, seemed a little more docile. But my husband really wanted kind of like this hard charging dog. Little did he know we were going to get way more than we bargained for with this one. But so he decided to take Koba. And so Koba, for the first, I don't know, year, 6 months to a year of his life with us, did not care about us. You could tell, like, we actually didn't feel like he cared anything about us at all, because all he really cared about was biting things. So that's one of the things about these working breeds. Dutch Shepherds, Malinois are another one. My other dog, Molly, is half Dutch Shepherd, half Malinois. And one of the things about these dogs is they can be very, very driven to one particular thing. For Molly, it's balls, it's toy play. She loves to chase a ball, and she will do anything and everything to chase that ball. And she could do it for hours every day. This one, on the other hand, he enjoys chasing and biting things. So he would rather go out in the field and do bite work than just about anything else in the world. In fact, he was such an odd dog. He didn't care about toys except for chewing them, biting them. He didn't care about playing with toys and could not catch. I had to train him how to catch a toy. So basically, I put him up on the couch. I had a toy, a little like long stick-shaped toy, and I got about 6 inches from him and tossed it up into his mouth until he could do that. And then I moved back a few inches and kept tossing it until he finally learned how to catch. So, you know, you can tell, like, this dog is my companion, despite the fact that I didn't want him when we got him. He is definitely my big buddy, and he's my snuggle buddy, and he sits with me on the couch, and he sleeps on my side of the bed at my feet. He is my protector. He is, you know, just my dog. So when he got sick, that was kind of a hard hit for me. But I'm so glad that he is still here and he's doing so well. All right, so this is a Painterly paint pot. Another one of my, you know, this kind of some of my faves out here on the table in front of me. I use this one quite a bit as eyeshadow base, and I've been using this stuff for years. I think this is my 3rd tub or glass container of Painterly paint pot. All right, so let's slap some shadow on me teary eyes here. Me teary eyes, me hearties. All right, so let's go ahead and get this. I'm going to use some ColourPop today on my eyes. So the palette that I'm going to use is the Feels. I'm not sure if this one is even in existence anymore. I picked this one up at Target last year. I want to say it was last year. Is the Target in Merville? I think so. So I think I got this last year. Anyway, hopefully it's still available because I think it's a really great palette. But let's go ahead and let's just dive on in here and we'll just add a little color to my eyes and we'll finish up this look, shall we? All right, I'm going to pull this mirror out again and hopefully he doesn't get crazy. All right, so that was kind of my summer. I won't say that it got ruined. It was just different than what I had thought it was going to be. And I was off work for most of June, all of July, except for the very end. And also now in this month, there's not a whole lot of work going on either. I'm an independent contractor and there just hasn't been a lot of work. So, and not to say that that's not concerning, because obviously it is. I need a paycheck to pay my bills. But it also has been nice that I have been able to be home to take care of Koba and do all the things for him that need to be done, and make sure that he gets as much love and attention as I can possibly give him. So that, I mean, although I would like to have more jobs and work more, I think that it's been really great that I've been able to be home with him all of this time. All right, so the color that I used there in the crease is going to be this one right here. It is called... Yeah, that happened, right? Things happen, right? They happen all the time. Clearly, I need to put a little spot of glue in here in this palette, but this shade that I just used is called... Let me get my reading glasses. All right, y'all, you know your girl has bad eyes. Why? Because I am 51. Okay, there we go. So it is called Cozy Cabin. Oh, I like that name. Cozy Cabin. All right, so let's go ahead and get something on the lid here. We're going to keep it simple. I'm not doing a whole lot today. I am literally just going down the street to my friend's house to have dinner. So I'm going to use this little shade here, the one that just fell out. It's kind of a coppery rose gold. Oh, that's pretty. Right there on the lid. And then I don't even think I'm going to do anything. I'm just going to let the Painterly kind of take care of that area under the brow bone for me. And I'm not even going to go there with that. There we go. How do you like it? Wow. It kind of doesn't matter if you do or not, because I'm the one that has to wear it. All right, so let's go ahead and finish this up. Just kind of dust off any flakies that fell out from underneath. Yeah, so that's how my summer's been going. How has your summer been? Have you been having a good time? Did you do anything exciting? Did you take any trips? I didn't take any trips. I basically stayed home, but I'm okay with that. You know, it's a season in my life that looking back, when I look back on this season, I'm going to know, hey, you know, even though I had some difficulties, right? Definitely a time of growth, a time of learning, and a time to spend with my husband and my dog, right? Okay, so let me go ahead and slap some mascara on and finish this video. This long rambling get ready with me. So I have the It Superhero. This is a favorite of mine. It can be a little wet, but for the most part, I think it's a great mascara. It builds really quickly. It gives a really great result. So I'm going to go ahead and put some of this on. All right, there we go. Oh, we did have some fun though. It wasn't all, you know, hospital at home for the dog. We did have some fun. Our friend came out to visit from Colorado, and we did get out to the Yeehaw Brewery downtown to, you know, get a bite to eat, and he and my husband got to have some beers together down there. So it wasn't all, you know, gloom and doom, so to speak. And we did do a lot with the dog, right? Because we took him out hiking quite a bit. So we went over to the local birding park where they have some really nice trails, and we took him out there. we took him to the Great Smoky Mountains and took him on one of the two. There's only 2 dog trails in the Smoky Mountains, and so that when I say dog trails, that trails where dogs are allowed. So there's the Gatlinburg Trail, which runs from downtown Gatlinburg up in along the roadway to the big visitor center in Sugarlands, and then there's the Oconaluftee Trail, which is the one that comes down from Cherokee and the Oconaluftee River. And so those are the only 2 trails in the Smokies that are dog friendly. All the other ones, the backwoods trails and things like that, they are not pet friendly because obviously we are a wildlife habitat out here in East Tennessee. We have tons of black bears. On the North Carolina side of the mountains, there's elk. There's a large herd of elk just outside of Cherokee. And when you're driving down, if you drive through the Newfound Gap, you will probably see elk out there. It's a really big herd. You know, there's deer, there's snakes, there's, you know, small animals, woodchucks, and otters and lizards and salamanders and all kinds of stuff. So they don't really want, you know, your pets out there wandering the trails with you in the backwoods of the Smoky Mountains. But we did take him up to the dog-friendly Gatlinburg Trail, and he really enjoyed that. He got to get down in the river and have a good time there. So I won't say that we did nothing all summer, but we definitely found ourselves kind of constrained by our dog. So anyway, that's all there is for me to say today. So this is the finished look. I still obviously, look, y'all, it is 5 o'clock in the afternoon and I still have not done my hair. So you can see what kind of day I've been having today. It's very productive. But anyway, that is all I have to let you know about right now. So, you know, I will be back with more videos. I have some things planned, some mocktails, you know, some more makeup stuff, some favorites, some trash videos. When I say trash, I mean empties, y'all. So that is what I have coming up for you. Thank you so much for sticking it out. If you did stick it out for me, why don't you put a little doggy down in the comments section there to let me know that you finished and got all the way to the end of this video. And again, thank you for sticking it out with me. Thank you for watching and listening. I would love to hear a little bit about your summer or about your pets or about your adventures and what's been going on with you. So please do put some ideas down in the comments about what you've been going through and what's been going on with you. And until I see you again, be safe, be well, and be happy. Bye, everyone.